Hi everybody. There's a little bit of improvising on the blues, just a little bit, jazz blues. We're going to get into scale and chord construction and in these next series of lessons. We're going to be working with the three major chords that we've already gone over. You remember the fourth string position, the third string position, and the second string position, forming those major chords. And we're going to get into why they're major chords and also start to discuss our first scales as well. And there's so much we can do with that major scale that everybody is so familiar with. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That scale, we're going to take that scale and apply it to bluegrass, blues, jazz. We're going to build so many chords and so many scales off of that basic major scale. Okay. Now let me, let's go over to the board here. Take my picks off. And you can see I've got this little chart here that we're going to be using this chart quite a bit, and there's a lot of information that we can draw off of this chart. And we're going to start with the major scale. Before I go to the chart, let me go back to the banjo. And let's just review a little bit. Okay. Let's just go back to those 12 notes that we have to work it with in music that we've discussed before. Okay. And also the fingerboard, the fretboard. And remember that we call the distance between each fret a half step. Okay. So let's just start on the third string, that G string. Let's play all the 12 notes again. And we're going to play them all on that one string. All right, there's our 12 notes. And remember, when we get to the 12th fret, when we hit that 12th with that third string just behind the 12th fret, we get another G note. Again, this is where the neck splits in half, and then all those notes are going to repeat themselves. Okay, so a good way to look at the neck is just between that nut and that 12th fret. That's really what we have to work with. Okay, is this section of the banjo. Because again, at this 12th fret, you can think about that 12th fret as being the nut again. And then the banjo neck starts over again, and we can only go up to the 22nd fret because that's all we have to work with. Okay. Now when I did that, played those 12 notes, okay, that's called a chromatic scale. And all the chromatic scale means is that the scale works in half steps. So every fret okay, that's a chromatic scale. Again, a chromatic scale is working up every half step or every fret. Okay, so we just played a 12-note chromatic scale. We don't have to play the 12 notes. We can play 2 notes if we want. It would still be considered a chromatic scale if we just went up that half step or 1 fret. We can take any of the 12 notes that we like, if we're stringing them together again with half steps. It's called a chromatic scale. Okay. So now we'll go over to the board. Again, we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay. Now that's a 7-note scale. Okay. And you can see that I have them numbered as well below. So 1 would be do, 2 would be re, 3 would be mi, 4 fa, 5 so, 6 la, and 7 ti. Okay. Now when we come back, you know, it's do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Okay. So when it comes back to do, it just goes to 8 and continues on. Okay. Because remember, when we get back to do, that's where our octave occurs. Okay, remember going back to the lessons on octaves. And so this scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, is what they call a major scale. Okay. And we're going to continue on with this major scale and all the things that we can do with it again. And just keep building from this major scale. And so you can understand how all these things work. It's really important to understand how scales work and how chords work if we want to get the most out of the 5-string banjo. So we're going to continue on with it, everybody. And we'll see you next time right here on musicmoves.org.